Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher. Every single day, you are a hostage taker, and you are also the hostage. Whether you're arguing over a kitchen renovation or a salary increase, you are locked in a silent war where the only outcomes seem to be I win or I lose. But Roger Fisher and his team at the Harvard Negotiation Project realized something chilling. Most of us are losing fights we don't even have to be in. The world doesn't move forward because of winners and losers. It moves forward because of people who find the yes hidden behind the no. Imagine two neighbors living next to a beautiful ancient oak tree. One neighbor wants the tree cut down because the leaves clog his gutters every autumn. The other neighbor loves the tree because it provides shade that keeps her house cool in the blistering summer. They argue for months. They stop speaking. They hire lawyers. To the first neighbor, the tree is a nuisance. To the second, it's a sanctuary. This is what we call positional bargaining. They have both dug a trench around their position. He says, cut it down. She says, keep it. There is no middle ground here. You can't half-cut a tree and keep it alive. In a standard world, one of them wins, and the other lives in resentment. But if they stopped fighting over the tree and started looking at the why, they'd find a solution. He needs clean gutters. She needs a cool house. The solution isn't a chainsaw, it's a gutter guard and a bit of pruning. The first massive shift Roger Fisher offers us is to stop seeing the person across from you as the problem. In every negotiation, there are two interests: the substance of the deal and the relationship. Most people trade one for the other. They get tough to win the deal, but destroy the friendship. Or they get soft to save the friendship, but get cheated on the deal. The breakthrough is being hard on the problem, soft on the people. Think of it like a doctor and a patient facing a complex disease. They aren't fighting each other. They are on the same side of the table, looking at the X-ray. When you attack the problem together, you remove the ego from the room. You can be incredibly demanding about the results while being incredibly respectful to the human being sitting across from you. But how do you actually find that hidden path? You have to become a detective of interests. Positions are what people say they want. Interests are why they want them. Think of the classic story of the two people arguing in a library. One wants the window open to get fresh air. The other wants it closed to avoid a draft. They bicker back and forth until the librarian walks in. She doesn't ask them where the window should be. She asks why they want it that way. Then she opens a window in the next room. Fresh air comes in, but no draft. When you focus on interests, you realize that for every interest, there are usually several possible positions that could satisfy it. Most of us go into a negotiation with a single bullet in the chamber, our one deal. When that fails, we feel like we've lost. But when you understand the interests, you suddenly have a whole belt of ammunition. You realize that your need for security could be met by a higher salary, but it could also be met by a longer contract, a better severance package, or a guaranteed bonus. Once you have those interests on the table, the negotiation becomes a creative workshop. This is where most people fail, because they think they have to find the right answer immediately. Fisher suggests a brainstorming phase, where you intentionally separate the act of inventing options from the act of judging them. What if we tried this? What if we swapped that? By expanding the pie before you try to cut it, you discover that value isn't a zero-sum game. You can actually create something out of nothing. But let's be honest, some people are just difficult. Some people want to win just to see you lose. This is where the BATNA comes in, the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. This is your superpower. Your BATNA isn't a bottom line or a minimum price. It's your backup plan. If this deal fails, what is the best thing I can do instead? If you are buying a car and you have another car waiting for you at a better price down the street, you are the most powerful person in the room. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to be loud. You can be the calmest person in the building because you know exactly when to walk away. The stronger your BATNA, the more power you have to be fair, creative, and firm. It is the silent protector of your dignity. Finally, How do you settle a disagreement when both sides are being stubborn? You stop using willpower and start using objective criteria. Don't argue about what's fair. That's subjective. Argue about what is standard. What is the market value? What does the law say? What is the industry average? By leaning on an external yardstick, you take the person out of the victory. No one feels like they gave in to you. They feel like they gave in to the facts. Getting to yes isn't a manual for being a pushover. It's a blueprint for a more intelligent form of strength. It's the realization that the most successful people in the world aren't the ones who crush their opponents, but the ones who turn their opponents into partners. We live in a world that is increasingly loud, divided, and stuck in its own positions. We are constantly told that for us to rise, someone else must fall. But the secret of a truly great life and a truly great negotiation is the opposite. It is the understanding that the most powerful thing you can ever say to an enemy is a question that invites them to help you solve a problem. So, the next time you feel that tension rising, the next time you feel yourself digging your heels into the dirt, ask yourself one question. Am I fighting the person or am I fighting the problem? Because the wall between you and the yes you need isn't made of bricks. It's made of the things you haven't dared to ask yet. Go find the why. The yes is already there, waiting for you to see it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, tap the bell, and join the Booksbox family as we explore powerful ideas, one book at a time. Catch even more great ideas on our podcast. The link's in the description. Until next time, keep reading and growing.